Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Haiku Friday. Today is January 17th, 2025. Yes, 2025. Wow. Let's get going, shall we? Let's. We've got a couple from Nikki. A place for mourners, the solemn, deathly silence, ashes to ashes. I would imagine that is in reference of the terrible fires down in Los Angeles. Um, thank you, Nikki. Another one here from Nikki. The broken spaces, a river of crimson red, dead on arrival. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate those somber but beautiful haikus. Now we have a couple from Max Q. The first one from Max. Symbolically yours, the Bank of America, reduced to ashes. Second one from Max Q. MAGA man, Christian, he voted for the felon, won't think twice, all right? Yes, I think there was a lot of that, wasn't there? Wasn't there? Oh, and then we have another one from Max Q. So Max Q maxing out the three haikus here. Composed on the run, under the gun, a deadline looming too shortly. Thank you, Max, for those babies. I appreciate it. Stay safe down there in the heart of it all. Here is one from Rico-san. The fish are jumping. Crocodile in the water, black flags on the beach. And I wrote Rico-san to ask if that was a warning. And did they put black flags when you're not supposed to swim when there's crocodiles out there? Maybe. That's what I think's going on. But I haven't gotten, I don't think I've gotten word on that yet. But let's just all go with that until we hear something different. So if you see a black flag on the beach, don't go out there. All right, here is mine. Fun fascist fighting. Create big, powerful art. Words wielded wildly. Yes. I do engage in alliteration now and again. I do enjoy it. In fact, this latest piece of art that I did was called Grounded Grizzly Greeting, because I do like alliteration, which I'll get into. So that's the haikus that we have for this morning. But if you want to stay tuned, we'll talk about a little bit that's going on. As much as alluded to in many of the haikus, the LA fires are on a lot of our minds. You know, I was born down there, lived different times of my life down there. Um, it's to me, it's a very stark thing. It's an interesting thing because you have the truth of global climate change and those of us who would like to do something about it, as opposed to the people who are out there, the Republicans who are telling lies about about the Los Angeles fires to score political points. When really, the discerning person would know the political points are on the people who are trying to do something about global climate change, as opposed to the people who uh, tell you that it's a hoax. And yeah, speaking as a former firefighter for 20 years, I would say that from what I've seen, it would have been pretty dang hard to put out all those fires going on at the same time, no matter if you had every fire company in the nation involved. I think it'd be pretty dang hard. Anyways, but it's a great thing to look at. I think, as awful as it is, because the people in California are really banding together and taking care of each other in a very much a gospel, if you fall in that line of thinking, gospel way, taking care of their neighbors, people who've been burned out of their homes, feeding other people who've been burned out of their homes. How does that fly in the face of Republicans? Pretty hard, I would think. So they're going to keep lying, and we're going to keep telling the truth. Speaking of telling the truth, our radio station is still down uh, for the FM stuff, the actual transmitting, although you can listen to it on kyrs.org. You can listen to it streaming. That's still going just fine. Shows are still going on, but apparently the towers, there's a lot of snow to get up there. So you can tune in. You can tune into my show, 4 o'clock on Tuesdays. I plan on there's a lot of kind of under the radar protests going on this weekend. Um, Starting on Saturday and I think concluding on Monday with Martin Luther King Day being celebrated as we inaugurate an unrepentant racist into the highest office, racist, felon, adjudicated rapist into the office, a failure, a guy who killed a lot of people due to his failures at the pandemic. And a lot of people forget that one of the first things he did when he was in office was undo the pandemic response team because it was Obama's idea because he's a petty baby. So we'll see how that goes. So, but we're going to celebrate, going to talk more about that. So this weekend, look for marches in your community. They're out there. You're going to have to dig a little bit because they really don't want to give the Nazis a big target, I think. So um, I'll record some speeches and stuff for the show, for my radio show. You can listen into that if you want. There is so much inspirational stuff out there as far as creation. I would suggest you look at Instagram. There are some really neat art projects, big stuff going on that I hope to emulate, and a lot of anti-Trump stuff. But I think for me, um, it's awful. But there's a reason why we got here, and I think that it has to do with honor and people sacrificing their own honor and self-credibility in the interest of maybe being a part of a community of like-minded flat earth believers or whatever. But I'd like to kind of tackle that issue more than just the specific problem of the felon in office. Uh, I'm thinking about moving out of Facebook and going to my blog format more than anything, which is spokanorama.blogspot.com, or you can just go to spokanorama.com. That has a bunch of stuff on it, which I need to do a better job of upkeeping because, don't really want to I don't understand billionaires who preemptively surrendered to this horrible thing. When Mark Zuckerberg could have been a hero, he could have vocally said, "We're going to." He didn't have to say he was opposed to Trump. He could just say, "We're going to keep being good people and doing legal things." That's all he had to say. He would have been a hero. But instead, they surrender. And along those lines, also Amazon. I'm trying to buy. I failed yesterday because there was one thing I really needed to get for this art project. So I kind of have like this idea: if it's for a project that basically runs contra to the people who are providing the area where I can do these things, like Amazon. Maybe this is an anti-Amazon project, anti-Jeff Bezos surrender monkey thing. But I've been trying to order more, even though it's more expensive and it takes more time, more directly from the manufacturers. And the nice thing is that dopamine thing that none of us are immune to. of ordering things from Amazon and waiting for them and just having them show up on your doorstep is hard to beat. Now, I have to say, when I ordered this, they threw a bunch of coupons my way, which I've never seen before. So it was something, and I don't want to get into what it is because it's part of the project, but it was something that would have cost me $160. And by the time I got done with the coupons they gave me, it was 60 bucks. So the longer you hold out from buying Amazon, I think they're going to entice you and then pull the trigger when you need to. But, you know, don't succumb to them either. Yeah, David Lynch, rest in peace. Spokane connection with him is great. David Lynch was an inspiration to me, always resonated. Of course, as a person that was weaned, I mean, cut my teeth on Devo, surrealism, Dadaism, I feel really strikes a deep chord with me. And so David Lynch was no exception to that. All his movies, I love Blue Velvet. We'd watch that every alert tour. We would watch Blue Velvet in the big briefing room. Uh, great, great time doing that. But another movie which I think I really enjoyed a lot too is Wild at Heart. And so those of you, which doesn't get mentioned much amongst his canon, I don't think it was critically acclaimed, but I liked Wild at Heart. So maybe one you might want to watch. The show Sweat is going to be opening up at the Civic Theater. Might have already opened up because Thursday they might have opened, but um, we'll be there watching it this weekend, and it's a pretty cool show. And I would recommend. I interviewed everybody there, and if you're looking for something to do, go see Sweat. Let's see. Honor, talked a little bit about that. I think I want to write more about that, how people have abandoned their honor. And I often wonder, how is it that people watch movies anymore where the honorable people are heroes? And that has to how does that even compute with them now? I don't know. Do they hate these heroes now? Maybe. So, but okay, I'm just going to finish up here. Thank you for the gift of contrast. That's one thing I would give to the orange felon, will be president, adjudicated rapist, that people he's picking for his cabinet, which are really no worse than he is, let's be honest. Um, they are, they've given it, it used to be like you'd have to discern areas of gray a little bit more. Pretty blatant now. So those of you who still have honor, you will know on which side to fight. So I'm in a good place for this. I wanted to say, I'm retired. My kids are raised, not to sound melancholy. Like, I am almost giddy for this opportunity because to peacefully and happily, with a song in my heart and a smile on my face, fight these powers, this evil thing, which is basically in opposition to my baptismal vows and my oath of office, and I'm sure other oaths I've taken over the years. So, yeah, so it'll all be done peacefully. I don't want to ever hurt anybody. I don't believe in that. I believe that causes more problems than it solves. I look to Gandhi and Martin Luther King, who incidentally, they were so effective at non-peaceful violence that they were killed for it. So, not to say that I want that to happen to me, but I'm just saying um, I'm willing to do the work. Okay, so I've got new projects going on. Another misconstrued platitude. I'm doing a painting of a fire from 1925, a downtown fire. I'm working on that. I never sketch anything out when I paint. I always just kind of start and keep changing, which let the painting kind of speak to me on ways to go. But these paintings that involve buildings, sometimes I do sketch them out because I want everything to look somewhat. It'll look weird by the time I get done with it, but I want to start out with a genuine representation. So I'm sketching that one out right now. Um, yes. So I'm working on that. I just finished a painting, which I didn't bring down with me to show you, but it's a grounded grizzly greeting, which if you're on Facebook, you've seen. I'm proud of that one. I haven't put it up for sale yet because I like looking at it myself. And when I'm willing to share it, I will put it up for sale. So stay tuned. Going to work on some short videos. I'm right now learning my lines for a play called Boxes, which I'm precast in and has a very heavy line load. So I've been working on that, and I'll work on that today, a couple hours on that too. I'd like to be off book when I start in on that. I would imagine that we'll be doing rehearsals early March, I would guess. So every day I try to do these things. If you want to stay tuned to talk about a little bit of a spiritual practice, I guess you would say. Um, well, you know what? I really don't want to get into that. We'll talk about that later, maybe. But let me just say, um, create. Please create. Please nurture your spirit and your mind and your heart, your head. Do all those things for your body. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Eat healthy. I think I told you last year. I was told I needed to like. I wasn't. I'm not. I wouldn't put myself down as a heavy drinker, but I had to stop. They said so. I probably have 3, 4 drinks a month now, maybe if that. I'm a big fan of a lot of the non-alcoholic beers now. So, anything that can keep you around longer to do the work that we're here to do. It's easy to feel frustrated and sad and checked out, but please don't let them have that. Don't let them, if you do it in private because they get off on that. Don't think that you're going to melt their hearts by showing how bad it hurts you because I hate to say it, they're kind of immune to that right now. Uh, just keep doing the work, making the stuff, create. The enemy only destroys, led by lies, destruction, and we're going to do the opposite. We're going to tell the truth and we're going to create. So please join me in that. If you'd like to send me a haiku, I would love that, and I would love reading your haiku because you know I love your haikus. So send them to me, please, and I'll read them. I do get sent haikus occasionally that are good, but they're not the people's haikus. They said, "Oh, I see this haiku," which is nice, and I do enjoy reading them. But I want to celebrate your creativity and promote your creativity because that's how we're going to win this thing. All right, everybody, I love you. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Friday, right? Okay, bye.